So what we're going to do is we're actually going to create some anchors. And so we can create anchors on our quilts with a walking foot, but I also like to do it this way. So I'm actually going to experiment with it this way because I'm going to show you how I'm going to work with this as I'm sewing. And my needle is in the down position here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip it over just a little bit. I'm going to create an echo. And my needle is in the down position here. I'm going to walk over. Watch what I just did. You see how I did that? And I'm going to move it over here. And my needle's in the down position. I move my ruler. My needle's in the down position. I move my ruler. I keep working on things like that. So now if my needle's in the down position here and I want to go a different direction, I might actually just take my ruler and I might go a different direction. And you have to keep in mind that this would be when I have my 72 foot on there, which is my ruler work foot. So excuse me, yeah, 72. So this one would actually glide along that piece. So as I was doing these pieces, I would actually glide along that piece, stop, needle down, and I just walk it over and then keep running there. Needle down. Now keep in mind that when I'm on a 72 on a domestic machine, I don't have my stitches stitch regulated. Now at this point, if I look at this and I'm going to create a section and my needle's in the down position, I might actually walk my ruler over here. And if you notice when I come to this piece, I'm going to stop with my needle in the down position. I'm actually going to move my ruler down and I'm going to walk my needle down here, and then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to start creating a back and forth. Come down. Now if I was on a Q20 that has a stitch regulator in the table, then what I would do in the base, then I would actually end up having these stitches stitch regulated. So you see what we're starting to do is we're trying to create a base like that. Okay, I can actually do this manually too with my free motion. And what I would do with that is I would come and walk along this piece and I would create a fill stitch. And I could do this with my stitch regulator. Okay, and then I'd come back and I could walk up here. So once I take my ruler work off, I feel a little bit more confident with my spaces, because the ruler work kind of gave me a definition, and pretty soon you're not going to be able to tell which part was ruler work and which part is just me. But if you notice, I see a lot of times when people are doing this type of free motion quilting, they get in a hurry. Quilting does not have to be in a hurry, and you're just focusing on this section at a time. So that's how when you looked at the piece that I did in here, when I worked on some of these pieces, on this one, I actually created this piece with this ruler. So I created those sections in there, and then I came back and I went another way. But I can't tell you where I did this and where I didn't, because that's where I picked up those segments. So on this quilt, this center spine was this. Probably that way, right there. See that? And when I came down here and I ran out of space, I just went ahead and walked over here and came back and just moved my ruler up and picked up the other back spine of this. Then I came in and I did the fill stitches around this. So I created most of my spines using some sort of one of the rulers. Another ruler that I really like, and this one I used for like a wider arch, would be something like this, but you can't tell where I used this and where I got confident, and I set the ruler aside and just started working off of it. Okay, this was like the first piece that I had done on this. You know, it's nothing fancy, but I was just experimenting with, can I use these as almost like putting the training wheels on first, and then coming back and filling in with my fill stitches. So that's one way of doing it. This one, the shapes, like when we get into the shapes, I really kind of feel like they kind of give me some confidence to be able to come in and create a fill shape. But if you notice, I came in and I aligned that fill shape around these pieces. I think I like doing a fill shape like this because it gives me the chance to come off and work on that piece. However, I actually also found that I started showing people, and we'll work on this today, where I'll come in here and I'll use this for a feather, and then I walk the machine up and create the next feather. And I walk the ruler up and then create another part of the feather. So a heart is not necessarily a heart. This is another one that, you know, like we always see this and we say, okay, well there's a line, so now I can create an arch and walk down. But I want you to be, this is a combination of ruler work and free motion. And I think that's really where the beauty of these lie, whereas is a tool that's sitting next to you. Even on this one, I'll come in and do this, but I don't do it trying to line up the line exactly every time. Like on some of the quilts that I've showed you today, is I can line it up exactly, But I might actually use this 45-degree down here, come down and do that, and then I might actually flip it over and do it this way and then come up and create a frame. I use my rulers for fill stitches, but I also use them for framework. So this piece out here, you can see that's pretty symmetrical and pretty even. If it was your work, you would be able to tell me where in this you had used a ruler and where you had not used a ruler. But you're looking at my work and you're much kinder to me.
But I always recommend that you kind of keep it upright, because as you start bending, you guys get really wigged out at the angle of that. Plus the fact that's not how you're going to quilt. You're going to quilt like this. Okay? So you're going to quilt with that piece up here like this. And then tell yourself, needle down. Needle down. Needle down. And start noticing how slow you are when that needle is down. Because then you're going to do needle down, needle up, and you're going to go. Okay?